Hey, this is the Prophet with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain. We here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks? This where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Prophet. Hey, hey, you talking to the Prophet? Hey, hey. We talking condos and nice clothes and driving Lambos. I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand those. We tried to drive on them house roads, but had to stay low.
All right, you guys heard this stupid song a million times. No, it's a cool song. We are going to do just a quick. So Jerry and I had a really fun show last night, and we were just talking about portfolio rebalancing, and I got a lot of text messages where people were like, well, how do I sell and so I just thought we would do a quick, like a 15-20 minute just discussion where we can all get our wires uncrossed as it comes to rebalancing and how difficult that is, because it's really tough to let go of your old babies. It's tough to let go of your children. So since I'm rebalancing this weekend, and I have been for a couple of days, but I started making some big, lopping heads off this morning. I thought, we'll talk about it. So let me say hello to, I know it's going to be kind of a quiet show because there's probably not going to be a lot of people here, and that's fine. You can watch it later. Again, no recommendations as far as what you should do. I am not your financial advisor. Period. You should be your financial advisor, and you should be you get it. BitFlippa, what's up? S2K Hobo. I want to thank everybody on Theta. Theta is badass. And it's just growing and growing and growing. And we totally heart it. Emmanuel, what up? Me and Emmanuel have been talking a lot today. Going back and forth, shopping it. Okay, so let me say hello to Antho Colibri, W. Cirio, Bacargadi, okay. That's a lot of consonants. Ildegod, Mountain Goat, Antonis, and hello to everyone else over on Theta. And here, we got Barno, Tiffany, Nash, Michael, Diego, ¿Qué onda, Diego? Ryan, Skeptical Poo, Tony Stark, Jared, numero uno. You guys know that, right? I think I've said this before. Jared was the first one. It was me, and then it was Jared. And it was only me before Jared because I had to start the show. Otherwise, Jared, numero uno. Hulagram, what's up? Wojtek, what's up, buddy? Let's see. We got two Pipeline, Nara, of course, Emmanuel, Dave, what up? I hope you guys are doing okay out in Florida. Hope everything's good. Jeffrey, what's up? Cool. Okay. And Philippe, cool. So let's get into some portfolio. You know what? I'm going to put a little house music on. I'm just going to have us a chill time. Okay. So this will just be a quiet little episode. Candace, what up? Where we talk about portfolio rebalancing. Just a quick little news, a blurb. Yeah, we don't rebalance Bitcoin. We add Bitcoin. We don't subtract the Bitcoin. We only add the Bitcoin. Okay, what's going on? So as far as Cointelegraph, what their recommendations are, and there was another token that was just in here that was climbing up the list. Two of them. And I'll tell you what they are. Rune, which is the Thor chain thing, which is quite interesting. And Audius were on this list about an hour ago. And this list changes. And what this is it uses a variety of metrics. The Vortex score, it's actually pretty cool. It uses a variety of metrics, sentiment data, volume, trading volume, Twitter volume, price change. Goes on down the list, and it scores these things. And some people trade off those. And typically in the 80s is a buy-ish signal. And in the 60s, 65 and below, is a sellish signal. Typically, when you see these numbers in the 60s, because of a variety of data, it makes more sense to sell than hold. Okay, great. Now, this doesn't matter if you're an investor, except that if you saw a number deteriorate really quickly, it might tell you that near term, the story might be different. So you definitely, this is, again, part of that necessary but not sufficient. If you guys look at technical analysis, it doesn't back test very well because it's necessary. It's necessary to absorb that data. It's necessary to pay attention to it. It's not sufficient for trading. It's not enough. And that's why it just doesn't back test very well. So, yep. Yeah, no, Dwight, the reason I'm doing this one is because I got a whole bunch of weird text messages. Like, it's basically people telling me after Jerry's show. So I don't know if it was because of Jerry's show, but a lot of people said it's effing hard to rebalance. And it is hard to rebalance. Matter of fact, it's harder to rebalance than it is to buy. And so I thought, why don't we talk about that? Why don't we spend 15, 20 minutes just talking about rebalancing and how difficult that is, because when we buy assets, we buy into those assets. We buy into the story a lot of times. Now it's different if we're trading in and out, and you're just looking to scout. But the way I invest and the way I endeavor to invest is that I buy core, these kind of assets where the fundamental story, I think, will meaningfully shape the space, the world, the whatever. And that I hope that I could hold these things for beyond a year. And that way I don't panic, Yeah. Selling is a FOMO thing. Well, yeah. And it's funny. Selling is a FOMO, just like buying. We chase green candlesticks and we panic out of red ones. And there's, this is all psychology, like literally all of it, but you have to sell. If you hear things like, I'll never sell. Used to be, I would say that was ridiculous. Well, how can you never sell? If you say, I'll never sell gold, well, that's silly, because how do you appreciate any kind of meaningful life change if you don't sell gold? But with digital assets, we're starting to see all these lines form where you could borrow your way out. So for instance, and I think that space, I think Coinbase is going to follow in Nexo's footsteps and probably do a better Nexo than Nexo just because of their reach. And my guess is we're going to start to see Coinbase become a bank, become a truly vertically integrated fintech and all this kind of stuff. So we're going to get right back up to it. Darting uphill, what up? Okay, so, and hologram, what up if I didn't say hello? Let me roll these little opening silly graphics. We'll get right back to it. And then we will talk about rebalancing. And for those of you that haven't really balanced, then you might just look at balancing your portfolio just in the first place. So we'll be right back after these non-commercial messages. Okay, so real quick, let's just do a quick news flash. By the way, I bought this really cool pad where I can do all these notes and stuff, and it's going to be super cool. I'm not sure what's going on with the pad, but it's stuck on this thing where when I draw a line, it shades the whole area around it, and it's all stupid. And so all I can do is use text. But I've drawn before. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'll figure it out for Monday. But until then, no board today. No board. So here's what's going on. So Pro Cointelegraph, using all their information, they're basically saying right now in the 80s, these buy signals. Now, if you get them in the 90s, I've done this about 6 times. Every time they get in the 90s, if I buy it and hold it, my thing has been holding for about 6 or 7 days. And I've been able to get anywhere between, say, 20 to 28. I haven't quite cracked that 30. But what I do is I get 20, 28%. I take my whole original investment out of it, and I just leave the profit in the token. And I've done it with a bunch. I did it with Elrond. I did it with Easy Finance. Down the list. And Nara and I were talking about this on our chat because I had pointed this and I said, this is kind of cool. I'm going to experiment with it. So I've experimented with it for a couple of weeks, and I'm going to continue. Is it going to give you like that token that's going to do 5,000%? I don't know. But it has consistently served up those little 20, 28 percenters, which is pretty cool because I'm like getting these little baskets of free tokens. So anyway, Aave, Energy Weapon. That's probably what it is. Energy Web token, Cody, it keeps coming on the list. I'm getting more interested in it, but it's not there yet. IOST, a lot of you guys have it. It's on our main list. Icon, I don't know. I used to actually own this a long time ago. I don't anymore. And reserve rights, I don't know enough about it to talk about it, but I will do more research because at least it's on the list. Earlier, both Rune and Audius had popped into the 90s or very close, like 88, not, right around that range. There's one other token. What was it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's talk about rebalancing. Let's get to is there, yeah, I guess we can let's look at our main blister. Okay. So I think one way to look at this, and I'll go ahead and do a banner for it. But I think one of the best ways to look at rebalancing is to set up some kind of subset or sectoring, right? In it, so that you can go, okay, this is X, this is Y, this is, you have to have a way to kind of separate these types of assets. Before it was just crypto. Hey, get some crypto. Woo, we're winning crypto. But now I think you have sectors. And so the sectors to me are money or currency. And that's not just one asset, because you have hard money and then you have currency. Hard money, Bitcoin. Currency, USDT, Paxos stablecoin, BUSD, USDC, the stablecoins. Okay. So you have money and currency, which is Bitcoin, and we'll just say stable assets. Okay. Then I believe you have infrastructure. So we'll call those infrastructure. You have picks and shovels. And I'll explain this in a second. Then you have dApps, which also are synonymous with lottery tickets. Okay, and so what we have to do, we have to find a way to balance these things in a way that makes sense to you. Now, my percentages of balance, not going to be yours. You've got to do what you think makes sense based on what your assumption of the next few years of the market is. And say, I just took my VeChain principal and banked it. Yeah, man. You know what, Scott? That's actually pretty smart. So that was the first head I chopped. So many of you know, because we've been kind of goofing about it, I was buying $3 a day of a VeChain for about 2 years. No, that's not true. About a year and a half. I mean, ever since I've done the show, every day, $3. Why? Because I had it on BitTrue and I was getting $3.05, whatever, of staking rewards. Well, most of that time, VeChain was 2 cents or less. Matter of fact, most of the time it was less than a penny. Just kind of fluttered around a penny. Every day, $3, $3, $3, $3. And I put it back into VeChain, which was getting the little rewards over at BitTrue, and just wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. So I worked my way up to about 500,000 of these little tokens, which wasn't very much, right? But it was cool because it was basically free money. Not free, but it was from the staking from these other assets. So I got my cool little position. And we always taught, if it gets, I said, I will keep buying until it gets to 5 cents. So I did. At 5 cents, I was like, okay, I'm done buying. When it got to 10 cents, my average price was 1.15 pennies. So when it got to 11 cents, I just take my own advice. That's a 10X. I chopped 20% off. Gone. See you later. Bye. Adios. Well, today it was at 23 cents. That's my next double. So I took 10%. Gone. Goodbye. See you later. Bye. So I started out with, so the math is I had 500,000 of these. And again, I don't usually talk about numbers, but in this case, it's a cheap coin and I don't think you guys mind. I had 500,000 of these that, again, I bought through staking, 500,000. I took my first profit at a 10X. I chopped it. I took 100,000 coins, which is 20% off the table. See you later. Bye. And I think I put all of it in Bitcoin. And that was a few weeks ago. Then it's been moving fast. Most of it, I believe, on the rumor of a Coinbase listing. Some of it on the whimsy of the markets right now. Things were, at least for the last few days, leading into the coin listing, and which is the Coinbase listing. I think overly irrational, and borderline dangerous. But whatever. So Fast forward this morning, I wake up, it's at 23 cents. And so what I do is, for those of you that have Blockfolio is great for this. Set a repeating alarm at a price point where you know you're going to exit. I urge you to live and die by pre-programmed exits. You don't want to get there because your psychology is different. If all of a sudden the price goes up, you start going, man, it's going to keep going up. It's probably going to look at that strip. No, I think you want to dial back that thinking. I think you want pre-programmed exits, because I think you want to be as strategic as possible so that you don't give it back, or so that you don't fall into the chasm of I'm riding it up. And then it went all the way back down and I gave it all back. If you had been taking profit on a regular basis in 2017, 2018, you're still doing really good, even though you got punished a little bit in 18 and 19. Then we had 20. Woo woo. And again, yes, this is different network effects. We're not in the same, it's not the same market. And I don't think a crypto winter is coming anytime soon. I don't know if we ever see a truly crypto winter, but we definitely are going to see a lot of volatility in these smaller assets. So that being said, that is a preface, and we're not going to get into trade theory and all that. We're just rebalancing or balancing. When you look at your portfolio, I believe it's important to break it into chunks. The way I do it is I try to go roughly the 40 to 50% is money. So as an example, if I had $100, $40 to $50 would be in Bitcoin, and maybe say $40 Bitcoin, $10 in stablecoin, a little dry powder. Okay. Infrastructure plays. What are our infrastructure plays? Well, our picks and shovels plays, Ethereum. Yes. It doesn't scale. It's expensive. It's gross. It's a fat, rich, white guy coin. Yeah, true. All that's true. It's a Novogratz coin. Yup. But it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. And even if it doesn't meaningfully scale, it's not likely to go down that much in price. It probably won't move as fast. But again, this isn't about trade theory. This is really just about balancing. It's the ultimate still. It's the ultimate, infrastructure play. So Ethereum, protocol layers, right? Ethereum, Cardano, DOT. I don't think we can call VeChain a protocol, and it's certainly not been tested enough yet. But where would we go? Not yet, but at a certain point, Filecoin, I believe, starts to look a lot like less like a DApp, more like a protocol layer type asset. And I say that because, who's competing with them? Siacoin, StorageJ. Anyway, Cosmos, Avalanche, which I don't own. I am going to take a position in it. Just haven't yet. Rune, new kid on the block. I think it could be pretty exciting. We'll see. IOST, yes, I know we don't know. It's hard to get reporting. It's Chinese, but protocol layer. It's protocol layer. We want exposure to it. So Flow, protocol layer. TVK, protocol layer. Again, you'll decide within that chunk of, say, 30 to 35%, that's going to be protocol layers, how you want to distribute that. That gets into your gut feelings, your instincts, your kind of your base case, your thesis, however you want to describe it. I'd say Origin probably falls in that list. You want to have exposure to this. And okay, Wax. Again, you may want to take some exposure to it because it is protocol layer for NFT. Fetch, AGI, protocol layer for AI. Audius, it's not really a protocol, but it kind of is. It's something between a DApp and a protocol. Obviously, the staking's really good. And for a lot of reasons, I don't think they have. I think their competition is weak if it exists at all. New kind of network. Yes, it's protocol layer. Yes, it's got punished price-wise. Many of you got in when it was over $1 or $1.20 or $1.30, and you've summarily gotten your boots kicked. It doesn't matter. You hold on to these things because you believe in the infrastructure play part of it. And hopefully you didn't go too deep in any one. These are small positions. These are 2.5% to 5% positions, depending on how you be. And near, which is probably near, should be top 3, top 4, right? Depending on how I score Cardano, Ethereum, dot kind of all together, and near right at the cusp of that. And I think when Coinbase, anyway, again, not trade theory, but when Coinbase really gets behind near, which I think they will, it's Coinbase Venture, I think they're going to push that out there, and I think it's going to be a good play. So protocol layers, that's kind of like your infrastructure tier. Then you have your picks and shovel plays, and some of these are dApps, and some of these are like tokens. Like, okay, Rally, it's an influencer token. That's a picks and shovel, right? It's actually more of a dApp. If we're being honest, it's not really a pick and shovel because there are other influencer tokens. So this is a dApp. So let's rewire that. That's a dApp. That's a lottery ticket. That's a 1%. In my book, that's a 1% position. Stormix, gamifying the use of credit cards and debit cards, which is cool. So, but again, it's a 1%er. 1 inch, man, I'm having a hard time deciding how to classify 1 inch. If there's so much competition for it, it's DeFi. I just don't know if it'd be better just to have a DeFi basket than try to pick the winner, because obviously there's a lot of competition and we don't know what's going to come from Polkadot and Cardano and Near in terms of their DeFi solution. So I'm kind of indecisive on that. Nexo is the ultimate utility token. Great picks and shovel. Picks and shovel, picks and shovel, picks and shovel. Mana, you got to burn it to print land. Engine token, it's a gaming token, but it's also an NFT swap currency token and NFT marketplace token, graph token. It kind of sits between layer 1 and these dApps. I think it's incredibly valuable, and they're coming out with some cool new stuff. So we'll see. Chili's, kind of a fan token, but on the soccer side, it's actually been doing quite well. PSG, I don't know if Emmanuel bought any PSG, but I was oddly looking at it like, what am I doing? And why do I want to buy this? Again, lottery ticket. Okay, so yeah, so that's how I would kind of score it. And then in that lottery, so in this picks and shovels, that's going to be, maybe 10% that you would divide, and those are all tiny positions. And then your dApps, your lottery tickets, and those are your no more than 1%. Now, your whole portfolio could be, 10 assets. That's fine. It could be 50. That's probably too much. I think that the human brain can probably manage 5 to 7 assets. But obviously there are 5, in my opinion, there are more than 5 to 7 good quality projects. The problem is at a certain point, you're watering yourself down. If you own 50 assets, and one of them does a 10x, but it's a 1% position, well, that could be good, right? That could represent 10% of your portfolio. But if it does, it's time to take some profit and roll it back. And you need to be consistent in rebalancing. So this easiest way I found to rebalance, this is the way I've done it like the last 2 kind of quarters, both with me and with my homies and with my clients. I don't even look at my portfolio. I go to either Livecoin Watch, Cointelegraph, whatever, and I just put the tokens up, top 10, top whatever, 50. And I scroll down, I go, oh, I want that one. I want that one. I want that one. I want that one, right? If you really want to do it right, you don't even look at Cointelegraph. You do it just on a piece of paper. You look at nothing. Don't even have your computer open. Just write down the assets you feel like you have to own, right? And when you do that, you'll see where your brain's at, right? You're going to learn really quickly, like, oh God, that's all I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking about these assets. YOLO into Nexo. Don't YOLO into anything. If you're going to YOLO into Bitcoin. There should be no YOLOing. No YOLOing. Okay, so, and by the way, hello to Claire, hello to Envision, Crypto Fanatico, hello, Plendoro. What's going on? Let's see. Nick, do you have a Discord channel? I don't. Oh yeah, you've already answered it. Yeah. Get with Dwight. If you guys want to go do the Discord thing, get with Dwight. I'm just not into all that. I'm kind of just like, I get in trouble every time I get on Discord because I cuss a lot and everybody runs around saying all the awful things that I said. So I am staying away from Discord. I'm going to say awful things just right here. And that's it. Here is where I say awful things. But yes, YOLO into Bitcoin. If you go into YOLO into Bitcoin. All right. So you take your piece of paper, you write down the assets that you like. Hopefully the very top thing is going to say Bitcoin. Hopefully it doesn't say Tether. But there it is. And yeah, I'm not, and you guys realize I'm not a part of Coin Alert or anything like that. I'm a big supporter and I use it, but I'm not a part of it. So just keep that clear. The only thing I do is these shows. That is it. Not a mas, not a mucho. Yeah. Okay. So just to keep all that clear. All right. You write down on your piece of paper the assets that you like. You write down, that's going to tell you where your brain's at. Then I want you to go through your list. Don't look at the numbers. Just look at what you currently own. And first connect the dots between the list you just wrote down and the list you have. It's going to tell you where your head's at. There's going to be invariably a chunk of assets that didn't even come up in your mind. You say, okay, I want you to look at their performance. Are you in the money? Have you lost? Where are you at? And so this is going to start to shape what's going to be your either balancing or rebalancing. Do I have a reference code for Nexo? You know what? I think I do. And I think it's in here. I think it's already in the description of the video. Because Nexo's dope. Okay. So when you're rebalancing, literally just divide it into $1. Don't think of big numbers. Just divide it all into $1. If I have $1, 12 cents is in Bitcoin, 8 cents is here, 3 cents is there. Divide it into $1. Just percentages is all that's important. Dawood, what's up? And once you've put it into percentages, again, on your piece of notebook paper, you don't even need a computer. On your piece of notebook paper, you know what your portfolio is going to look like for you. Before you buy or sell anything, I want you to go back and bang around on those assets that were kind of at the bottom of the list. Go look at their website, maybe refresh in your memory what they do. Go look at the volume, see if they're selling tokens, see if it's them selling tokens. Make sure it's just not a bunch of pumps on Twitter and then, right? So again, and this is all about, I don't care what you own. You can own anything you want. You can go 100% nonsense token. That's fine. If you believe in it, if you think it will either meaningfully change the world or meaningfully change your pocketbook, by all means, just have some framework for making your decisions. That's it. Just have a framework. I don't care how effed up that framework is, but you need a framework. You need somewhere to fall back on, a decision-making scheme, right? Because if you don't, you're just going to be random. And what you definitely don't want to do is don't click into this show or Jerry's show or any show and leverage everyone else for your buying decisions. You don't need to say, what are you buying? You need to be asking, why are you buying? Why are you buying that? Why are you buying that? Why are you buying that? Not what. The what, it won't help you, because then you're going to get, even if you do win, you won't know when to exit. And so again, this is just a quick talk. So the chunks are money and currency, infrastructure, picks and shovels, dApps. 50%, I say 40 to 50% money and currency, 30, 35% infrastructure, 10-ish% picks and shovels, the rest in dApps, lottery tickets, and no more than a 1% position. And yeah, the wolf mindset's pretty interesting too, because that's actually a good point. There's a great quote. I'm going to read the quote to you because it's such a good quote. I read it often. It directly applies to crypto. The quote is, and you'll know the movie, you should move to a small town, somewhere where the rule of law still exists. You will not survive here. You are not a wolf, and this is a land of wolves now. The crypto space is a land of wolves, and you will get more than punished. And so this is one of the reasons why I don't like the average person. And again, the average person is coming into the space. They're new, right? They don't understand the depths of The average person, I think, is not responsible enough to use leverage. But the more you know, the more comfortable, nailed it, the more you can start to use leverage. This is not a leverage discussion. This is simply just, I have $1. This is how I split it up. Okay. I urge you guys over the weekend to go and take a look at your portfolio and do this before you look at your portfolio right now. Frank, what's up, buddy? You go, you write down your wish list portfolio. I like this. I don't like this. Write down your wish list. Divide it into percentages, not money units, percentages. What we're trying to do is just reduce the emotion out of your buying and selling. Then you compare that with what you got. And when you look at what you got, there will be differences. It will tell you where to scrape. And where do you start? You start with anything where you're at or near over a 5 to 10x. My general rule is at a 10x, take 20%. And then every double after that, take 10%. Period. Full stop. I don't care if you love it. It doesn't matter if it's, you're a Vitalik Buterin fan, a Charles Hoskinson fan, Gavin Wood, doesn't matter. Zero. Take profit off the table. Take it into stablecoin, take it into your back pocket, pay off debt, or take it into Bitcoin. I prefer Bitcoin, but you do you. And on that note, let's call today. Don't do anything my poor insolvent drunk grandmother wouldn't do. She's strung out on meth. Thank God she's high again. Yesterday she was sober. And I was like, Grandma, what's up? She's like, I can't find the Quaaludes.
This is the Profit with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain. We here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks? This where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Profit. Hey, you talking to the Profit? Hey. We talking condos and nice clothes and driving Lambos. I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand those. We tried to drive on them high roads, but had to stay low. Now there's solutions to hard bills we couldn't pay for. I talked to Profit to get some profit, we couldn't change the top. If it's a stock and I need a cop it, I wait for him to drop it. Ain't no option, let's get it popping. We chilling in the drop. I need some crypto, put it in my pocket by any means I rock. This is the Profit with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain, we here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks? This where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Profit. Hey, you talking to the Profit? Hey, you talking to the Profit?